Thank you, Chair. Chair, I have some concerns about this policy. I split that into a few parts. One is cost element, second is GDPR, and finally, the cultural impact on service users. Let me begin by the cost. The report, it is mentioned that it will be 500 pounds, no, 300 to 500 pounds. I believe that is for it. In case of a van, my understanding is that it will cost them somewhere about 1,500 pounds. This is what I have received from the service, the taxi drivers. Now, you know the situation here. We are recovering from COVID. We can see every day in the news, nurses are on strike, doctors are on strike, lawyers are on strike, street teachers are on strike. Why? Because they have difficulties in living with whatever they earn. Now, we have a situation here. We are simply recovering from the COVID. These people are having a significant impact on the living. And at this point in time, the council is trying to implement a policy which would require them to invest another 500 to 1,500 pounds. Should we not help them at this point, instead of making their life extremely difficult for them? They are not this is not a highly earned job. They're just simply making their living. And considering that, I would ask the council to review the decision. And I move to the second part, which is the GDPR. I have some concern and some serious concerns. Because I give you my own example. If I were to hire a taxi from Cambridge to Heathrow Airport with my family, would I record it with my kids, family, sitting in this chamber like that? Certainly I don't. I asked my wife, would she be happy with that? She said, no way. I asked my 9-year-old son. He said, no way. And one point. And secondly, if they were to take a passenger and then they ask the passenger, are you happy for us to record this? And if they say no, then would they have to turn the job down? And how many of the local passengers would be happy to record them when they are inside of the taxi? And secondly, would a passenger be happy to record her, or when the moment the taxi driver say we are going to record you, if they just go away, maybe in the middle of the night, maybe in a very difficult climate, pouring rain, they would be forced into the taxi despite the fact that they do not want to be recorded. The taxi driver rightly mentioned, do we have any policy in place if we were to breach the records? And if there are, what is it? And rightly pointed out by them, if we breach, what would be the legal implications? Do we have budgeted an amount for this in the event of a potential legal challenge? Now, did we have a specific consultation with service users, i.e., elderly residents who live in the care homes and elderly people? And did we have a proper consultation with the taxi drivers? And plus, Yvonne just mentioned you had consultation with the police. Let me ask you, did we have a specific consultation with the police where we required an in-house camera, sorry, an inward camera in the taxi. And what was their response? Did the local constabulary support this, the implementation of an inward camera? This is a serious concern. I'm going to read a message which I have received from one of the taxi driver and his wife. My wife is a modest practicing Muslim lady who is recently uncomfortable with the inward looking camera. When CCTV is implemented, she will no longer assist me. She will mean, okay, I'll just read the first paragraph. My wife and I transport special needs children, and she is my personal assistant. Government to transport special needs children are that one must be DBS checked to obtain a personal assistant badge. Modest practicing Muslim lady who is really uncomfortable with inward looking camera. When CCTV is implemented, she will no longer assist me. I lose my school contract. The taxi trade has not recovered from COVID-19, and the cost of living is consistently rising. I am not in a position to buy another car for private use. I occasionally turn to food bank to provide food for my family. How can I afford 700 to 800 pounds for the CCTV? It goes on. I stop there. And secondly, most of them